Have you ever felt like the world just doesn't get you? Like you're a grumpy ogre in a swamp, just wanting to be left alone? Well, today we're diving deep into a modern fairy tale that turned the whole genre on its head, a story that proves heroes come in all shapes, sizes, and shades of green. That's right, we're talking about the one, the only Shrek. So picture this, a secluded, murky swamp. It's not exactly a five-star resort, but for our hero, Shrek, it's home sweet home. He's a big, green, grumpy ogre who enjoys the simple things in life: mud baths, solitude, and scaring off anyone who dares to venture too close. His Beware Ogre sign isn't just a suggestion, it's a lifestyle. Shrek is perfectly content in his isolated world, a king in his castle of mud and trees. He's built walls around his heart just as high as the ones around his swamp. But one day, his peaceful, quiet life gets a rude awakening. Imagine waking up to find your front yard has turned into a chaotic refugee camp for every fairytale creature you've ever heard of. We've got the three little pigs bickering, the big bad wolf in your grandma's nightgown sleeping in your bed, and a whole host of elves, fairies, and gnomes setting up camp. It's an absolute disaster. This noisy, colorful invasion is the work of the vertically challenged, power-hungry ruler of Delac, Lord Farquaad. He's banished all fairytale creatures from his kingdom, and they've all ended up right in Shrek's swamp. Shrek, understandably, is not happy his sanctuary has been overrun, so he decides to march right down to Delac and give Lord Farquaad a piece of his mind. And this is where our story really kicks into gear, because along the way, Shrek quite literally runs into a character who will change his life forever: Donkey. Donkey is everything Shrek is not. He's talkative, optimistic, and desperately wants a friend. He's being chased by Farquaad's knights when Shrek inadvertently saves him. From that moment on, Donkey latches onto Shrek like glue, much to the ogre's annoyance. Donkey's non-stop chatter and endless questions are the complete opposite of the peace and quiet Shrek craves. Yet, despite Shrek's best efforts to push him away, Donkey sticks around, becoming his unwanted but loyal travel companion. Their dynamic is pure comedic gold, the ultimate odd couple. When they finally arrive in Delac, they find Lord Farquaad hosting a tournament. The prize, the honor of rescuing Princess Fiona from a dragon-guarded castle. Farquaad wants to marry Fiona to become a king, but he's too cowardly to do the dirty work himself. As soon as Shrek and Donkey show up, Farquaad sees an opportunity. He strikes a deal with the ogre, rescue the princess for him, and in return, he'll clear the swamp of all the fairytale creatures. For Shrek, it's a no-brainer. It's a direct path back to his beloved solitude. So our unlikely duo sets off on their grand quest. The journey to the castle is filled with hilarious banter and the slow, reluctant budding of a friendship. Shrek is still trying to keep Donkey at arm's length, but Donkey's persistent cheerfulness starts to chip away at Shrek's tough exterior. They cross a rickety bridge over a river of molten lava, a scene that's both thrilling and funny, especially with Donkey's fear of heights. They finally reach the castle, which is more like a fortress surrounded by volcanic rock. Inside, they navigate the dark, spooky corridors until they find what they're looking for, but not before they encounter the castle's guardian, a massive, fire-breathing dragon. But here's a twist: this dragon isn't just a mindless beast. She's a lady dragon, and she takes an immediate, and I mean immediate liking to Donkey. It's one of the most unexpected and hilarious romantic subplots ever. While Dragon is busy trying to woo the terrified Donkey, Shrek makes his way to the highest room in the tallest tower. There, he finds Princess Fiona, but she's not exactly the damsel in distress he was expecting. She's been waiting for her true love to rescue her with a dramatic kiss, just like in the fairy tales she's read. She is a bit disappointed when her rescuer turns out to be a smelly ogre instead of a dashing prince. Fiona is feisty, skilled in combat, and more than capable of handling herself. The trip back to Delac is a hilarious clash of personalities. Shrek is impatient, Fiona is demanding, and Donkey is trying to play mediator. As they travel together, something magical starts to happen, and it has nothing to do with spells or potions. Shrek and Fiona, to people who felt like outcasts, begin to connect. They find common ground in their shared experiences of being judged by their appearance. There is a beautiful scene where they try to one-up each other by catching and cooking food. Fiona inflates a snake into a balloon, and Shrek does the same with a frog. It's weirdly romantic. They start to see past each other's exteriors. Shrek sees a strong, kind woman, and Fiona sees a gentle soul beneath the grumpy ogre facade. They are falling in love, but there's a secret Fiona is hiding. Each night, when the sun sets, she transforms into an ogre herself. It's a curse that was placed on her as a child, one that can only be broken by true love's first kiss, which will give her love's true form. She's terrified of anyone finding out, especially Shrek. She believes no one could ever love an ugly beast. One evening, just as Shrek is about to confess his feelings to Fiona, he overhears a part of her conversation with Donkey. He hears her say, "Who could ever love a hideous, ugly beast? And princesses don't marry ogres." Shrek, heartbroken, misunderstands. He thinks she's talking about him. He feels rejected and his walls go right back up, thicker than ever. He's convinced he was a fool to think a princess could ever love someone like him. Feeling betrayed, Shrek angrily hands Fiona over to Lord Farquaad the next morning and heads back to his now empty swamp. He got what he wanted, his solitude is back, but it doesn't feel right. The quiet is no longer peaceful, it's just lonely. He misses the constant chatter of Donkey, and more than anything, he misses Fiona. Meanwhile, Donkey, knowing the whole truth, finds Shrek moping in his swamp. He tells Shrek he completely misunderstood Fiona. He explains her curse and reveals that she was talking about herself that night, not him. Donkey makes Shrek realize that Fiona truly loves him for who he is. Realizing his massive mistake, Shrek knows he has to stop the wedding. And how do they get to Delac in time? On the back of Dragon, of course. Donkey has managed to maintain his unique relationship with her, and she flies them to the wedding just in the nick of time. Shrek crashes the ceremony. Right before Farquaad can kiss Fiona, he confesses his love for her in front of everyone. Just then, the sun sets and Fiona transforms into her ogre form in front of the entire congregation. Farquaad is disgusted and orders his guards to seize them both, but Shrek isn't alone this time. Dragon bursts through the stained glass window and, in one satisfying gulp, swallows Lord Farquaad whole. With Farquaad gone, Shrek and Fiona finally share their true love's first kiss. A magical light envelops Fiona, and she floats into the air. The curse is broken. When she lands, she remains an ogre. She's confused, saying, "I'm supposed to be beautiful," and Shrek delivers one of the most iconic lines in animated movie history, "But you are beautiful." This is her love's true form, because Shrek loves her just as she is. The movie ends with a massive party back at the swamp. All the fairytale creatures are there, celebrating the wedding of Shrek and Fiona. They've turned Shrek's isolated swamp into a place of community and joy. Shrek, the lonely ogre who just wanted everyone to leave him alone, found something much better: love, friendship, and a family he never knew he wanted. Shrek is more than just a funny movie with a great soundtrack. It's a story about self-acceptance, about breaking down stereotypes, and about understanding that what's on the outside doesn't define who you are on the inside. It teaches us that true beauty lies in being yourself, and that even a grumpy ogre can find a happily ever after. What's your favorite moment from Shrek? Let me know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this trip down memory lane, don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more deep dives into the movies we all love. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.